Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, you see I don't have much on the table. I don't have a bottle drop for you. I don't have much on the table. This is my Christmas edition 6 whiskeys for bourbon drinkers. This right here is a single glass. You probably want to know what's in it. We will get to that shortly. But first, let's get into the first whiskey for a bourbon drinker. This is a 92 proof offering from WHISKYS, okay? It is a whiskey that they source, but they also mix with their own distillate. I walked into an ABC store. I told the guy that I am a bourbon drinker and that I want something different. He pointed me in this direction. I am not upset at all. Look at the bottle. This is probably, I think this is my this is my third bottle over the course of about a year and a half, 2 years. So you see how much is left. This thing is good. I do not think it will disappoint. If you have that bourbon drinker in your family that has pretty much everything and you don't know what to get them, if they have expressed interest in whiskey, WHISKYS, if you have it in your market, I tell you, just pick it up, give it to them as a gift. I don't think you will disappoint. Second, if you have a bourbon drinker, I'm not going to put it on the table yet, that wants to try something slightly smoky because they feel like they tried all of the bourbons and they want something just a little bit different, and you want to get them something that's entry level, Johnnie Walker Double Black. It has all of those notes of a Scotch and a slight peated note, and it will allow them to see if they want a peated bourbon or not. Well, peated Scotch or not. I do not like a super smoky whiskey, but this thing right here, it is an entry level. It is not over smoked. It will get them in the door, and if they like this, then they may want to move up. If they don't like it, then you only spent maybe about 41 bucks. I spent $41.99, so you might as well say $42. Well, plus tax, pretty much $45. And I was not disappointed. I was not disappointed at all. This right here in the ABC, this goes for about $49.99. I don't think a bourbon drinker will be disappointed by this one. Right now they're running the sale. It is $46.99. I think you can give that to them and you won't break the bank. But anyway, back to the Johnnie Walker Double Black. It is an entry level peated Scotch that I think if a new bourbon, well, not a new bourbon drinker, but I think if a bourbon drinker is into bourbon and wants to just dabble into Scotch a little bit and maybe some of the smoky stuff, this would be the perfect gift to give them. I am sorry that I don't have on my ugly sweater. I wanted my ugly sweater so bad, but I didn't find an ugly sweater ugly enough to put on the channel. Number 3 on the list, this is a Quinta Rubin 14-year Glenmorangie. It is excellent. I don't think a bourbon drinker would turn this away at all. Make sure that your bourbon drinker does like things that are finished. This is port finished. It is first finished in a bourbon barrel and then it is finished in a port cask. This thing is ridiculous. This is the first whiskey that I had that had those jam notes, those flavors. It blew my mind how just nosing the glass gave me memories of sniffing open jam jars. This thing is ridiculous. It is super sweet. It leans more towards the orange side of citrus, and I don't think you'll go wrong. If you offer this to a bourbon drinker, I don't think they'll turn it away at all. 14 years old, yeah. 92 proof, definitely enough proof to get on the palate and not come across as bland. That is something to get a new bourbon drinker. Well, that is something to get a bourbon drinker. 4th on the list, Belvany 12. This Belvany 12, it is an excellent pour. You see how much I have in it. I am not a big Scotch fan, but man, when I started getting into Scotch, the Belvany Double Wood, it is first finished in a whiskey oak, then finished in a sherry oak. Then I poured it in the glass, and the raisins that came out of this thing, it was raisins, figs all day long. It was very smooth, very easy to drink, very easy to knock back. I'm telling you, you can give this to an experienced bourbon drinker. You can give this to an experienced cognac drinker. I gave this to my stepdad. He is an experienced cognac drinker, and he loved it. Loved it from the first sip to the last sip. So I'm telling you, if you get this for a bourbon drinker, I do not think you will disappoint. All right, bottle number 5. This I'm going to keep off the table for a second. Bottle number 5 is something that you would get for a bourbon drinker that wants to try something smoky. This is a super peated whiskey. Now, this thing right here is very intense, very intense. It is the Lefroy Quarter Cask. It is not something that I would recommend to just anyone. This is something that you have to be a smoky whiskey lover, a smoky peated lover, a smoky bourbon lover to enjoy. It has that plastic Band-Aid flavor that I just do not like. When you open a fresh plastic Band-Aid and that flavor hits you in the nose, that is what that smells like, and that is what that tastes like. So I am only going to recommend this to a bourbon drinker who likes a very smoky bourbon, maybe even a peated bourbon. And I won't say anything else. Now, to the whiskey that is in the glass. I know you want to know. I know you want to know. This is Redbreast 12 Cask Strength. It is a little harder to find. It comes in at 112.6 proof. This is a $99 gift. This hit my palate so different that I started thinking about getting more into whiskeys. This thing right here, 112.6, oh man, it is excellent. I do not think you could go wrong with this whiskey. Well, with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out unless you head it to a drop. Till next time.